James Well, the Boxing Source here with another video, and this video here is to talk about the WBO welterweight title fight between Terence Crawford and Egidijus Kavaliauskas, where Terence Crawford ended up getting a ninth round stoppage victory to retain the WBO welterweight championship. It was a good fight between Crawford and Kavaliauskas. It was something that we did not expect, as we expected a lot of from Crawford, being rated by many as the top pound for pound fighter in the sport, and with the Egidijus Kavaliauskas. While Kavaliauskas came in there as the WBO mandatory, his previous fight was a draw against Ray Robinson, which was a not very not a very aesthetically pleasing fight. So a lot of people did not expect much from Kavaliauskas, but we got a lot coming from him, particularly in the second and third rounds, where many thought that Kavaliauskas ended up scoring a knockdown that wasn't scored a knockdown, as he was able to score right hand counters on Terence Crawford in those second and third rounds. And the way that Terence Crawford approached this fight was something that I guess a few people didn't expect. They thought that he would go in there against Kavaliauskas in the orthodox stance, but he went in as a southpaw, which opened up a few things for Kavaliauskas, who was there, while he was seemingly right in front of Terence Crawford. He was giving a little bit of feints and moving his head a little bit, and kind of timing what Terence Crawford was doing early in the fight. And once he was doing that, he was catching him with the right hand counter, was able to score well up in close quarters. And like I said, he could have scored a knockdown on Terence Crawford, as Terence Crawford did touch the canvas there early in the fight. But then Terence Crawford made an adjustment in the fourth round, kind of pawn the jab or chopping, doing the chop down technique with the jab with the left hand, and then opening things up with that while throwing the right, and then also, seeing what Kavaliauskas had there with his power shots. And while Kavaliauskas was landing with the right hand counters and also with the left hook, with the lead left hook, it wasn't enough to seriously damage Terence Crawford over the course of the rounds 4 and 5. And once you saw that, with Crawford not really being much affected by those punches, he started to bite down and approach Kavaliauskas, just go right at him, still in the southpaw stance a little bit, but just go right at him and then get to the inside and throw power shots, whether it was upstairs or downstairs. And he just bit down and eventually broke down Kavaliauskas in the seventh and eighth rounds. He was able to score knockdown in near the end of the eighth round with a mix of power shots. And then in the ninth round was where we started throwing more power shots and scoring yet another knockdown early in the ninth round. And then after Kavaliauskas got up from that, Crawford ended up finishing the fight, having the fight stop, and staying undefeated and retaining the WBO welterweight championship. So he does get that win. Still holds the WBO welterweight championship and goes into 2020 as rated by many as the top fighter in the welterweight division. We know about the situation there at the top of the welterweight division. You have Terence Crawford as the WBO welterweight champion. You have Errol Spence as the unified WBC and IBF welterweight champion. You have Manny Pacquiao as the WBA welterweight champion. And we all know the story about, sides of the streets and things like that or whatever it is. But, I mean, I don't see that as pretty much of an issue. Um, at least it shouldn't be here because these are the two same groups that kind of will be coming together for the rematch to happen between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. So if that is going to happen within both of those organizations come February of next year, then you could have Terence Crawford fight one of those guys that are under the advisement of Al Heyman. Now, we all know about the situation with Errol Spence. Errol Spence will not be available pretty much in most of 2020, if not all of 2020. So that leaves other possibilities that are out there. What many people are pointing to is a potential fight between Terence Crawford and former two-time welterweight champion Sean Showtime Porter. That would be a great fight. I say it would be a great fight between Terence Crawford and Sean Porter. Two guys that don't mind getting down in the inside, getting to the so-called nitty-gritty, phone booth type of a fight. I mean, you saw what Terence Crawford did here in his fight against Egidijus Kavaliauskas. He was ready to go into the inside and just, try to mow down his opponent and didn't care if he had to eat a couple of shots. But as long as he was able to throw some back and break down his opponent, then he is, down for it. And we all know with Sean Porter, he loves to go to the inside against anybody. So that would make for a great fight. It has been brought up earlier, and that both fighters don't mind that fight taking place. And it's something that I would say fight fans would look forward to, that particular type of fight, and it's something that I feel that could be made. So why not, put that together? I know that there's other fighters that are out there. The Keith Thurmans, who's also a former world champion. We know that Manny Pacquiao is out of the cards for Terence Crawford. If they couldn't put Manny Pacquiao in the ring against Terence Crawford while both were under top rank, you definitely don't see that happening while Manny Pacquiao is not with top rank. So that's out of the cards. Of course, you have like the Danny Garcias that are out there. And one possible opponent that is, I would say, a very outside chance that could be an opponent for Terence Crawford in 2020 is Mikey Garcia. But I don't think that's going to happen either, because I feel that Mikey Garcia is looking to face Manny Pacquiao in 2020. So, what we're looking at for 2020 for Terence Crawford is a potential fight with Sean Showtime Porter. But other than that, we'll have to see what Bob Arum has in line for Terence Crawford, the WBO welterweight champion, for 2020. But as of now, Terence Crawford enjoying the win over Egidijus Kavaliauskas, 9th round stoppage victory over in Madison Square Garden. And that's what I got in reference to this particular topic with Terence Crawford. Be sure to subscribe to the Boxing Source on YouTube and catch the Boxing Source radio show live 7:30 Sunday nights on Blog Talk Radio, or catch the podcast on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, wherever your favorite podcast app is. On that note, folks, I'm out. Peace.